We did tell you earlier that the Rangers are reeling, getting swept by the Astros, of course. And the NBA Finals are rolling. The Warriors all over the Cavaliers tonight. And Des Bryant was tweeting up a storm about LeBron and Steph tonight. Des hopes people are doing the same about him this fall. And people close to him say Des is in a very good place right now. As Keith Russell reports, so far this is the best offseason of Des Bryant's career.
Des Bryant is out to prove he's just as big a difference maker on the field as he's ever been. But where he is different, the way he approaches day-to-day life. As all the new faces roll into the Cowboys organization, Bryant is now a seasoned veteran, entering his 8th year in the league.
You just start putting things in perspective, and I know for me, all I want to do is be better. Just understanding it a little bit more and seeing where you can go. If you want to be great, you just got to go out there and got to give it your all.
Des has gone through that just like every player I've ever been around. You understand yourself more and more and what helps you play at the highest level. Des is a really good person who works very hard. The team's very important to him. His family's very important to him. And I think he's really managing all the different things in his life really well right now.
It seems like forever ago that Bryant led the NFL with 16 touchdown catches and played a full season. In reality, it was only 3 years ago. Several injuries later, last season suffering the loss of his father, Des knows how fragile life can be, and more than ever, determined to make the most of his window before it closes. Des Bryant was asked to name all the players still on the team who came before him. He paused, acknowledging that number is really small, also acknowledging that makes him an unquestioned leader, a role he certainly welcomes.
I feel damn good. It's exciting being out there, and I feel like that's because of my teammates. You know, those guys happy to be out there. I'm happy to see them happy, and it just makes you want to go. And they know just as well as I know we have something special.
Motivated or hungry. Go-getter in Des. I mean, it's hard for me to say he's better this offseason than last. I mean, I wasn't in the same position to judge that, but what I've seen from him, I'm so excited.
Rolling with constant criticism hasn't always been easy for Bryant.
How about y'all fix this, Rich? How about you fix it, Rich? You talking to us, you talking to the wrong people. You talking to the wrong people.
No longer does he want the defining moment of his career to be a call that went against him. Just when the question was starting to be asked if Bryant's best days were behind him, dominating in last year's playoff game against Green Bay showed he's still a force to be reckoned with, and a Super Bowl title will help him X out any bitter memories of the past.
I've never been afraid of failure. I've never been. I'm ready for the next challenge, and I think a lot of these guys have that same mentality, and that's just the way that I go about my business.
Des Bryant, the same in some instances, but new and improved in many other ways. Keith Russell, CBS 11 Sports.
Coming up, Jerry Jones offers a different opinion about his managing style.
Contrary to what a lot of people think, I have huge respect for coaching.
He's headed for the Hall of Fame, and he talks with us about his career next.
You will now be a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
It was an emotional scene 4 months ago when Jerry Jones found out he's headed for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And we can only imagine what it will be like 2 months from tomorrow when the Cowboys owner is enshrined in the Hall. We had a chance to sit down with Jerry this week to reflect on his 28-year NFL journey to Canton. Do you know who your presenter is going to be yet?
We haven't decided. You can tell how hard it is, and it's a toughie. But I have not decided. I'm real close.
He's a Dallas Cowboy. And tonight, forevermore, he's a member of the Professional Football Hall of Fame. It's pride to present you Michael Irvin.
when I look back and remember that Michael Irvin made me his presenter, and Emmitt Smith and Larry Allen, then it's made me even appreciate more getting to do that for them.
No, you've heard from so many people since the announcement came down that you're going into the Hall of Fame. It was a neat moment, I thought, at the Super Bowl reunion back in February when Jimmy Johnson was in town. You had an opportunity to have a lengthy chat with him. Now, with the perspective of nearly a quarter century, looking back on Jimmy's time with the Cowboys, how do you look at it now and when you parted ways?
Well, you made a big point. That was 25 years ago. What we did get to do, Jimmy and I got to be a part of a story of sport that really almost is hard to believe. More importantly, it changed his life and it changed my life.
There will be nobody with the Cowboys that doesn't give as big a piece of them, or we don't want them with the Cowboys. A man that is going to be with the Cowboys is Jimmy Johnson.
All I've got to do is say, you know, who did I search out and pick when I made the investment of my career, when I really laid it all on the line, or when I took the risk of my life, who did I ask to join me was Jimmy. And I remember saying when I was getting really criticized about Coach Landry, I said, Jimmy will be worth 5 Heisman trophies or Lombardi trophies. I said, I think that much of him. And in that respect, still have all of that kind of respect for him. And we got the most out of what we could get out of this.
I think everybody's kind of gotten a kick out of Jimmy and Jerry and thinking that we were at each other's throat. When you win these kind of things, the only thing you're going to do at each other's throat is hug it.
When you bought this team, reportedly, I think Bum Bright said that this team was losing $1 million a month, that the franchise was.
He is going to be enthusiastic, he's going to be interested, he's going to be aggressive, and he has the resources to do what the Cowboys need to have done.
You've built it now into a franchise that's the most valuable in the world, worth over $4 billion. But in those early days, what was the key to making this a success?
Well, I think I never thought of anything from the standpoint of, ooh, that is the way to make $1.
Come on, let's go.
It was a deep-seated feeling about football and the game. I played the game and played at a very high level in college. And so, contrary to what a lot of people think, I have huge respect for coaching. I have huge respect for the men that play the game. I just don't believe that they're godly or Superman. I think that they're lucky to get to be involved in the NFL. So somewhere in between there is a good match.
I'm Joe Buck, along with the Hall of Fame quarterback Troy Aikman.
One of the legacies of the Cowboys are former Cowboys players and coaches, for that matter, going into the media.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Tony Romo to CBS.
And now Tony Romo goes into the media at CBS. Is one of your regrets, though, that you couldn't get to a Super Bowl with Tony as a quarterback here?
It is my biggest disappointment as far as my time with the Cowboys is not having Tony Romo in a Super Bowl. He's very capable. He has that kind of talent. And most people will tell you in the NFL, if you've got that talent at quarterback, then that should get you there. We knocked at the door about 3 different times where we were a lot closer than it looked. It was a great career, a great time, and I'll always appreciate what he did give to the Cowboys and our fans. But I will be disappointed, I am disappointed if he doesn't make a Super Bowl.
Well, barring something unforeseen, Tony Romo will make it to a Super Bowl on February 3rd, 2019 in Atlanta when CBS broadcasts Super Bowl 53.